Joe Bartolozzi, I hope you're watching this. I don't really know how to start this intro, but I'll just get straight to the point, right? Joe Bartolozzi, you need to leave politics and your religious views, all that, leave it out of your videos, okay? Because it's making your videos shit. It's making your videos terrible now. It's making them genuinely unbearable, right? 2, 3 years ago is when I started watching you. I never really watched you on TikTok. And I figured out that you were agnostic because you were like, oh, this cross, I wear it not because I'm a Christian, but because I'm agnostic. And I looked at that and I was like, okay, he has the right to do that, right? At the time, I don't think I was Christian either. And I'm going to preface this saying I'm a Christian, right? I go to an Eastern Orthodox church, so that's just to give you some insight on what I believe and where I'm coming from. And Joe Bartolozzi, you might be like, oh, well, why is he bringing this up, right? Why is he so serious about this? It's because I genuinely want you to fix your content, and that's because this is coming from the bottom of my heart, Joe Bartolozzi. You're my favorite YouTuber, bro. Not even trying to be cheesy, not even trying to be corny. Joe Bartolozzi, you are my favorite YouTuber, right? I love watching your videos, right? I've been watching it for 2, 3 years, like I said. Uh, but it's gotten to a point where every single video you're bringing in your political and religious views, and it's unbearable. It's genuinely unbearable. And I know other people feel the same way, but they're probably just too shy to speak up about it because, they don't think anyone thinks like they do. But I know people who think the exact same way that I do about your content and the way it's been going. So let me break this down, right? I just watched the reason why I'm making this video, right? What sparked it was I just watched your Sophie Rain whale OF video, and you said I would do OF for 43 million a year, right? That's what you said. That's your words. And then some chatter said it's immoral. That's bad. And then you made the worst analogy, right? There are multiple instances where you make terrible analogies and terrible takes, but this instance in particular, it really grinded my gears to say. And I heard you say this. You said that, well, selling alcohol is also immoral because you're selling it to alcoholics. And that was so dumbfounding to me. And no offense to you, Joe Bartolozzi, but I was playing War Thunder and I had your video playing in the background. And when I heard you say that, I literally stopped everything, tabbed back in, rewinded it, and I was like, what the frick is he talking about? That doesn't even make any sense. And I'll tell you why it doesn't make any sense. I left a comment on your video, by the way, saying this exact same thing. I don't think there's a single clerk, a store clerk, who sells alcohol out there who genuinely is selling for the intent of the people buying it, the alcoholics, to buy it, and then they get drunk and then they ruin their fucking life. I don't think a single clerk is doing that. I think the real intention, right? It's about the intention behind selling the alcohol, right? The intention behind it, when you're selling it to people, right? The clerk, they're selling it so that they can drink alcohol, right? Because getting drunk is a sin. I hope you know you could drink alcohol without getting drunk, right? So I don't think there's a single clerk out there with the intention of selling alcohol to people just so that they can get fucking drunk and ruin their life and sin. No, there's not. I genuinely don't believe there's a single clerk out there with that intention in their mind. Maybe there is, but I just don't think that's true, right? So that's how it's not the same, right? Because when you're selling alcohol, you're not selling it to an alcoholic. First of all, that's you're assuming everyone who drinks alcohol is an alcoholic, right? And you're assuming that everyone that walks into the store and buys alcohol is an alcoholic, which is based off a whole bunch of presuppositions that are correct, that are false, right? So that's one thing. And then the second thing, right? I remember this is gonna all tie back. I remember a couple years ago you debated this dude about uh, about whether smoking weed or drinking was worse. And I know you like to flex that you're in college classes and that you take philosophy, right? And I've been watching you for a while, so I know that. Um, and I could tell watching that video, I could tell that you had some experience debating and you had some decent rhetoric, right? I'll give you that. But Joe Bartolozzi, ever since then, you've been bringing your political and religious views into your videos, and it's genuinely freaking unbearable. It's unbearable, right? A while back, you said if like up to the age of 5, a mom is okay to have an OF, something like that, because the kid is so young it won't even matter. And when I heard that, I was like, "What the frick? Old Joe would never say this. Joe from like 2023 would never say this. What is it coming? Where is it coming from? I miss the old Joe, 2002. I miss the old Joe, and it's getting to a point where every single video, just like this one, is just unbearable. I have multiple instances of where I just have to click off the video because what you're saying is so like toxic and wrong about whether God doesn't exist or what's right and wrong, and I just have to like disagree, and it gets like I remember you said, right? So you can understand my position. I'm going to show you something that you said. I'm going to remind you of something you said. I remember you said you didn't like late night talk shows because they're too political now, especially when election comes around. All they do is just anti-Trump propaganda, and that was coming from you. You said that you're the most liberal there could ever be, right? And I'm quoting this from memory, pure memory. I have no script right now. I'm just speaking from the heart, right? One take. And I remember you said that, and when you said that, I was like, okay, right? So then why are you doing what they're doing? You're being a hypocrite, Joe Bartolozzi. How are you going to say you don't like their politics and then bringing in politics in the late night talks? But all you've been doing is bringing politics and religion into your videos. And you made a philosophy channel. No disrespect. I'm never watching a single one of those videos because it'll be so brutal and unbearable just hearing your terrible takes. And I'm hoping one day we could actually talk, like on Discord or whatever, so I could actually like break down your beliefs and show you how they're actually wrong, because it's very poisoning, and I think you're poisoning the people watching your video. But through your terrible liberal leftist, terrible views. So yeah, that's the reason why I made this video. That's gonna be a wrap. Joe Bartolozzi, a final message: stop bringing politics and religion into your videos. It's terrible. You have bad takes, and just go back to the old Joe Bartolozzi, where you're making good content, and you weren't focused on this trash. Thank you. That'll be the end of it.